All right, so I'm here with Dr. Ali Muhammad, and I want to talk a little bit about the raid that went down in South Shore a couple days ago. My understanding is you live right there.
Yes.
Why don't you describe how you became aware of the raid?
I was sleeping, so at about 1 a.m. in the morning, my building began to vibrate, and then I look out the window, and it's a Black Hawk helicopter. I went outside, and there were soldiers everywhere. I saw them go from the 8th floor to the 1st floor. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Flashbangs. And the unit that did that was like some special unit. They did it like they were somewhere in Iraq, you know, and then they went in and got people out of the buildings. They had black people zip tied together. They had Latino people zip tied together. Black children zip tied together. Latino children zip tied together. And let me tell you, zip tied together. People didn't have on, like, you know, clothes. The children had on no shoes. You can see it's little girls with no shirts on, children in their underwear, children crying, and they didn't care. And a neighbor spoke to one of the soldiers and like, this is inhumane. And he was like, F those kids. They violated the U.S.'s own constitutional rights, the right to due process, no warrants. They claim they had a warrant for like 5 people but can't prove it. And even if they did do that, you don't take out a whole building. That's a violation of everybody's rights. Trump talked about U.S. cities should be actual war training grounds, he said. And then when he speaks of immigrants, he says immigrant and so-called illegal aliens, right? When he speaks of us, he says homegrown, right? But he took it a little further. He said the enemy within. He said internal invasion. So this is the language that he's using. It's not even constitutional or international law, you know, legal, but this is what he's doing.
We're about to do this program calling on people to mobilize to Washington, D.C. on November 5th to raise the demand, Trump must go now. That there's no living with this fascism. The regime must be driven from power. You want to speak on the importance of that?
Very, very important. One thing we all have to understand is that fascism has no limits, number one. So it's very important to speak on that, and for this activity, which is like the anniversary to his election, it's very important that people make their way to DC. Let's speak of how important it is, because fascism has no limits. It's Hector Hernandez yesterday. It's Tyrone Jenkins somewhere in DC or Chicago or over there in South Shore today. And it's Billy Concrack tomorrow. And what happened in Portland, Oregon shows you that. Portland, Oregon has always been considered the whitest city, they say, the whitest big majority city in America, and he sent the troops there. You don't get what that's about? It's your fight too.